3.
Progress.
Thank you. I'd like to introduce the city officials in attendance with us this evening. To my left, City Attorney Venerian. To my right, Assistant City Manager Jack Ways, Finance Director Pesta, HR Director and Deputy Clerk Gross. We also have in the audience present Assistant to City Manager Schrader, DPW Superintendent Ladd, Fire Chief Coomer, Police Chief Shakinis, Deputy Chief Kolke, DDA Board Member Millen, and City Manager Witt. We also have a special guest this evening, State Senator Rosemary Bayer. Thank you. Mayor Ackley, I now turn the meeting over to you, please.
Okay, thank you. Would everyone please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance and remain standing for the invocation?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Mayor Pro Tem Lublin will now give the invocation.
Thank you. Let me put that up there. I'm a little slow on this. Thank you for your patience. Dear God, we ask you to preside over this meeting tonight. Help us to act as a unified team to open our hearts and make fair and just decisions that improve our community. Also, may we come together as a whole with the courage and strength to show kindness and compassion as we collectively work towards the betterment of humanity. Amen.
Amen.
Thank you. Would the clerk please call roll?
Ackley?
Here.
Ambrose?
Here.
Fernandez? Here. Locke? Lublin?
Here.
Osnick?
Here.
Woods?
Here.
Thank you.
Okay, I would like to...
Excuse me, Mayor, may I have a motion to excuse Councilmember Locke this evening?
Oh, yes, we do need that. Do
Thank you.
you have a motion, please?
I'll make the motion.
Thank you.
What's the second?
Thank you.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Okay, now we're ready for me, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. We're going to start out with making any agenda changes that we have, and I do have one. The resolution under new business, item 2, I would like to move up and do it as next on our agenda because our lovely people from the theater group have a dress rehearsal, so we want to get them out of here as quickly as we possibly can, although I'm sure they'd love to stay around for the fun. Are there any other agenda changes that anybody has?
Yeah, Madam Mayor, I'd like to propose a discussion for new business for discussing grants for pickleball courts.
Okay. Okay, anyone else?
Madam Mayor, I'd like to make a substitute for the resolution under new business, item 1, for it to be read into the record as well as recognizing the names of the individuals that played or were attended and assisted on that day.
Okay, and we have all those names?
We do.
Okay. All righty. Anyone else?
The record should reflect that the council member you excused now is here. Good to see you, Grandma.
Okay, are we ready to hit the road here? Okay. Then we're going to have the first item is our resolution number 2 under new business. If everyone can pull that one out. I'm a little bit slow getting to it myself here.
Be page 61.
Yep. Okay. Could I have a motion at this time regarding the resolution of the City Council welcoming the Director, Jeff Tomakos, and the Inspiring Acting Company? And we're going to leave it as the same number.
Are you going to fill that
Okay, I'll make the resolution of the City Council welcoming Director Jeff Tamakis and the Inspired Acting Company to the City of Walled Lake and embracing them as Walled Lake's Community Theater. This being proposed resolution 2023-12.
Fernandez seconds.
Okay, we have a second. Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Fernandez.
Yes.
Locke.
Yes.
Lublin.
Yes.
Osnick.
Yes.
Woods.
Yes.
Ambrose.
Yes.
Ackley.
Yes.
Thank you.
Mayor Ackley, I do have the resolution
Okay.
here for you to sign. And then Jeff and Wes, if you don't mind coming up. Sure. Presentation here.
Hey, Jeff. Thank you. Hi there.
Oops, I forgot.
Your first name?
I wash my hands.
Thank you so much. Of course, my pleasure. Welcome to Walled Lake.
Thank you. I'm sorry, my chair's
Thank you again.
Good to see you. Glad you're here.
Thank you. We appreciate it. Looking forward to you being here.
Yes, thank you.
Congratulations and welcome.
I guess we're Cal Cooper.
Welcome.
Jeff, you want to say a couple of words? Invite everybody over to your...
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Thank you, the City of Walled Lake. Thank you, Mayor and the council members. We feel so welcome here in Walled Lake, and we're nervous and we're excited for Friday, but we know that we're going to be a great benefit to the community, both to Walled Lake and to greater western Oakland County, and we hope to become a firm cultural and entertainment gem for the community. Everyone here, if you want to see some great theater, come to Private Lives. It's a comedy. You're going to laugh. Maybe you'll cry a little bit. It's very fun. It's great. Thank you again.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. We have a, next item is a presentation. Anybody who's introducing them, please?
Good afternoon, Mayor and City Council. We do have a quick presentation for the Clean Water State Revolving Fund, and we're going to invite our speaker from Hubble, Roth, and Clark to do the presentation.
Hello, everyone. This is Fatima Babakani. I'm with Hubble, Roth & Clark consulting firm. And, okay, so it's working. Great. So we were hired by Oakland County Water Resource Commissioner to prepare the project plan for sanitary collection system for City of Walled Lake. And so tonight we have Drew Sandel from Water Resource Commissioners. So the Water Resource Commissioners, they are in charge of maintaining the sanitary system. So before I dive into the project plan for the city, I'm going to talk to you guys very briefly about introduction about like what is the SRF project plan, what is the SRF program. SRF is a state revolving fund program. It's a great opportunity and financial assistance for the communities to maintain and operate their assets, including water main, sanitary system, or any plant that they have. But tonight we're just going to focus on the sanitary system. And I'm sure you guys heard about like infrastructure's money. So that's like infrastructure's money from the state and federal that's funneled through SRF program. So it's a great opportunity for the communities to use this low interest loan and potentially for principal forgiveness to maintain their system. And the first step for this project, for this SRF program, for the city to be eligible for this loan, interest rate loan is preparing the project plan. So that's what we prepared, the project plan that discussed the project's need and identify those areas that needed to be repaired. And then the next step is public meeting. That's what we're doing tonight. Present the result, provide the opportunity for the public to be engaged, and then finalizing project plan and submit that to Eagle by May 1st. And then after we submit that, Eagle goes through all applications that they have. They prioritize the applications and they pick between them. And this program does not commit the city to do any work. This is just a good way for them to put them in the line for these opportunities, for this loan that, and also the principal forgiveness. And in the public meeting, Eagle requires us to go through these steps, like going through the program overview, and also talk about the project plan, the alternatives, and the overall cost of the project, and also talk about any environmental or social impacts that project has and the mitigation, and at the end talk about the scheduling and answering any questions that you guys might have. This program provides the low interest rate. We don't know yet what the rate is for this year, for fiscal year 24, but the rates that you guys see here, these are coming from the last year, fiscal 23 fiscal year. So if we go with 20 years loan, the rate is going to be 1.875%. And with 30% is 2.125%. And again, this is not for this year, that's for previous year. And there is a high chance of principal forgiveness. That's another great opportunity. And so this loan can be used for planning, designing, and construction, and that's administered by Eagle. And again, for the city to be qualified for this loan, we need to do the project plan and then provide a public meeting and comment opportunity for the plans, and at the end, pass a board resolution adopting the plan. So that's the goal for tonight, to passing the resolution for adopting the project plan. And then the final Eagle approval and city accept of the loans is decided later in the program. And so there is another opportunity for the city of Bald Lake that the city can fall under overburdened community, which provides more point to the city, for the city to be eligible for those fundings. So there is more chance of getting those principal forgiveness. There is some guidance in a Eagle manual that, with following those guidance, then it tells us that the city is within the overburdened communities. And so regarding to the principal forgiveness, the rate, we don't know that yet, but for last year, previous cycle, it was between 5 to 20%. And we think for city of Bald Lake, it's gonna be like 20%. This is just, we think about that. We don't know exactly what's gonna be the rate. Eagle has not announced it. And just a little bit background about the system. So the sanitary system was initially started in 1970, and the wastewater from the city goes to Bald Lake Novi wastewater treatment plant. And Oakland County, which I said, they are in charge of maintaining and operating the system. They received a grant back in 2014 on behalf of the city to prepare asset management plan. And so as part of asset management plan, they about 75% of the sanitary system, sanitary pipe, were televised, and about 90% of the manhole were inspected as part of asset management plan, the SAW grant that was received back in 2014. And based on the inspection and the CCTV videos, based on all those inspections that were done, we figured that some pipes and manholes were found to be in poor structural condition. And also there are pipes and manholes, they are continue to deteriorate if defects are not addressed. So now it's a good opportunity for the city to do those improvements with this kind of loans that the state and federal provides us. And again, some of them are old, so they're reaching to their useful life, and there's some lack of structural integrity in some assets. So we think that this project is needed. So we are proposing some rehabilitation and repair, including cured in place pipe lining. It's a trenchless technique for repairing the pipes. And for some area, we need to do the dig up to repair about 400 feet of sewer, and doing some CIPP patch for 2 sewer segment, and also doing some upper rebuild to repair 37 manholes.
What, can you go back to the previous slide? I may have not heard when you said it, but what does CIPP stand for?
So it's cured in place pipe. So when there is a problem in the pipe, it's in a simplest way, they're putting another pipe within the
lining.
existing. Yes.
They blow in a, like a vinyl or rubber or composite.
Yes, it's a trenchless technique that they're just putting a new tube or the lining within the pipe.
Okay, thank you.
Yes. And as part of SRF project plan program, Eagle wants us to go through the alternatives. So we can just say, hey, this is the project we're gonna do. We need to go through this alternative and pick the most feasible, the one that's more, has more beneficial to the system regarding to the cost and the lifespan. So one of the options that they want us to look is no action, doing nothing. And this is not a favorable option, because if we let the system, some area needs to be repaired, if we don't do anything, they keep getting worse and worse. So at the end, it's gonna be more costly. And pipes and manholes with structural defects are more prone to inflow and infiltration and root intrusion. So they need to be repaired. So it's not a favorable option. And then the other alternative that they want us to look is optimum performance of existing system. And the system is currently managed effectively to meet its original basis of design. So maybe this is not applicable for what we're doing. It's just sanitary pipe. And then the other option is full structural replacement. So digging the entire sanitary system and put a new pipe. So this gives us new system, more reliable system, but it's too expensive. And inspection did not determine that the full replacement is required. So even though it gives us more reliable system, but it's not required to pay that amount of money. And it's gonna have more impact to the environment because we need to dig the entire system. So the selected alternative is doing the repair and rehab on the existing structures. This is more feasible, makes more sense regarding to the construction cost, and that include relining, dig up, pipe patching, and upper rebuilds to manholes. And all this construction is gonna be done within the existing location. So it's minimum impact to the environment. And here is the overview of the project area. So we color-coded it according to the project that was proposed, including lining, dig up, and pipe patch. The other thing that Eagle wants us to look is fiscal sustainability plan. So they provide the funding, and they want us to make sure that the system is sustainable for future. And and again, we are doing the rehab and rehabilitation on the existing infrastructure. So it's not like a new structure. And, the county has very proactive maintenance plans, so they already have a budget for maintaining their system. So we should be fine with this. And the total project cost. So we did some high-level cost estimate, and we ended up with $795,000 for doing this project. This is very high-level cost estimate at the planning phase, and once we get the project, and if the city is willing to do this work, we're gonna do the design and fine-tune the numbers. We're gonna be conservative. We don't want to go back to Eagle and ask for more money. And so if we go with 20 years loan, then the annual cost is gonna be $48,000. And the user monthly cost is $1.87. And this number does not go on the bill. So I just want to say this is not exactly the number. This is just like a placeholder. Because first of all, we don't know what the interest rate is. And secondly, the city of Bald Lake falls under overburdened community. So there is a high chance of getting principal forgiveness. But this is just a placeholder with the information that we have. And again, with going through this project plan doesn't bring any commitment for the city. The other thing that we are required to look is the impact. What is the impact of doing this project? So the positive short-term impact is bringing more jobs to the community, so which is great. And the negative impact is like similar to other construction, is noise, dust, traffic, which is similar to other construction project. And there is no negative long impact with repairing the pipes. And the positive long impact is the extending useful life and minimizing I&I, inflow and infiltration, and root removal. So now what is the mitigation of the impacts? So once we get the project and before we do any construction, we will get all the required easement like soil erosion permit or any endangered species requirement. We go through all those. And if during the work construction we run into contaminated soil or groundwater, we will follow all regulation to dispose all contaminated. And we'll also notify the residents that this project is coming up. Again, these are the steps that EL wants us to go through as part of the program. And since the work is gonna be done within the existing footprint, so there shouldn't be a lot of like floodplain or wetland or stream impacts. And if there is, we will get the EGLE permits. And the potential scheduling, the public meeting was advertised on March 29. So we need to notify public 15 days before public meeting. And the draft project plan was ready for the public to review the same day. And here we are at the public meeting. And at the end of the meeting, we need the city council to pass the resolution for adopting the project. That's the intent. And once we get, if there is any comments, any revision from the public and the city council, so we do all those revisions and submit that to EGLE by May 1st. Regarding to the timeline, so if EGLE gives us the funding, they will notify the county, and then the county talks to the city, and if the city is willing to do the work, the design is gonna be next spring, and construction fall and winter of next year. This is the last slide. So here they want us to talk about any changes that happened since the draft was draft was ready for review. So we had some minor changes. We added 2 more segments to the pipes that needs to be repaired. So the user cost increased from 1.83 to 1.87. And again, these numbers are just placeholder. For sure, they will be changed because of, as I said, the principal forgiveness, and there is a high chance of getting principal forgiveness for this community. And yeah, and then we also had some clarification that the service area aligns with the municipal boundaries. So that's all I have for tonight. If you guys have any question, we are happy to help. Yes.
Can you advise how neighbors or residents are made aware if there's any construction in their areas?
So
How do you go about doing that?
So similar to, I guess, similar to other construction project, so the city can post it on their website, or we can have the flyers or on the Facebook. Did I answer the question?
So if you do flyers that, like say you're doing a certain neighborhood, you would post maybe house to house, or it's just general?
Yeah, WRC does post ahead of time in the event that there's lining. We'll post door knockers advising residents that there's construction in the area.
Okay, thank you.
Anyone else on council?
I have a question, Madam Mayor.
Yes.
Can you explain to us what the definition of the overburdened community is, and why you think that we're more likely to get that?
So let me go to that slide. So there is some criteria about like the median household income.
Okay.
So, okay, like, this one.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, so the median annual household income for the area served does not exceed 100% state median annual house income. And there are other criteria that the taxable value per capita, it should be less than 22,920 per capita. And also the annual cost of this project, the annual user cost, if it exceeds 1% of median household income. And there is there are some category, some communities, they don't need to do any calculations. We can just say these are overburdened community. Mm-hmm. But for Walled Lake, there are some calculations. And then once we did those, then it told us City of Walled Lake is under overburden.
Thank you.
Do you want
I have a question. When you're doing a neighborhood relining with the CIPP, how are the residents along that reline portion going to be impacted? And will they lose service during that repair?
Yeah, so we asked users to temporarily hold back from using their sanitary sewage. We come through and then we cut a hole back in the liner. So they'll temporarily be asked to hold from using sanitary sewer, and then we'll come back and cut their lead in. So it's a short duration that they're asked to hold back. That's not complete stop. You still can use, just reduce usage.
What method of CIPP do you use? Do you use the blue light or do you use the steam?
Yeah, we're steam. They're heat cured.
Okay.
Yep.
All right.
But we'll get through that through design. We haven't selected a design yet, and that can be discussed as we get further along in the project. If that's something the city would like to pursue, UV curing tends to add 50% to project cost.
Thank you.
Okay.
Any other councilman?
I have a couple of items. First of all, the WRC does a great job. We're happy to have you. So you've already done the assessment of what you think our project is needed, and it is a loan. It's not a grant program, and it's spread over, and you're saying you added into the water bill? It's on the bill?
No.
Or is this something our general fund is?
So this would not be added onto individual bills. It's something that could be if you asked us to do so. We would show this as a debt service and account for that in the rates that are passed along to you. There would be no individual line that shows this project cost. We would look to offset from what we're collecting for capital improvement reserves and shift that into a debt service for this project.
Okay.
This work's planned. You know, this is already known. We know this works here. We're pursuing this as the opportunity to get principal forgiveness and, you know, take that 20-year plan we already have, do it up front, and then shift into debt services rather than capital improvement reserve.
So our general fund is not charged, it's through the collection of the water and the sewer and that, it's,
Sewer rates, yes.
right, the capital improvement.
Yeah, right.
Right.
Okay, anyone else? No other questions from council? Okay. Thank you. Next on the agenda then will be the public hearing. So at this time, we will open up the public hearing on the proposed Clean Water State Revolving Fund for the wastewater system improvement project. So at this time, is there anyone in the public who would like to make a comment or have any questions regarding the presentation this evening? Anyone? You're all set?
Is there anybody online? No. There's nobody online either, Mayor.
Okay. Okay, then we will close the public hearing.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, we've already made our agenda changes. So at this time, we would open it up to audience participation. Is there anyone here in the audience who would like to stand up? Would you like to speak now? That would be fine if you'd like to.
Thank you for the presentation, and I'm very excited about the water project. Bravo. And let's go for eliminating that completely. That would be perfect, right? We'll do everything we can to help. By the way, so I am your new state senator, Rosemary Bayer. I'm here to represent you in whatever way you need me to do that. One of the things that I can do to help is when you do apply for grants and loans and any kind of projects from the state, you can let me know, and I will do my best to help you get that. So it's a big part of my job. It's my favorite part. Well, my second favorite part. My favorite part is working with the folks in the community, and we will host coffee hours. You guys will be invited to coffee hours that are in the neighborhood, not just in Walled Lake. So if we're in Commerce or West Bloomfield or Novi, we'll make sure that that gets sent over to you guys. You can post it or send it through your channels. Also want to make sure you know that you can sign up for our mailing list, our email list. And we just send the emails only about every couple weeks, and it's just news. It's no selling, no bothering, and you can also get off at any time you want. So I'll give you all the contact information at the end, but want to make sure that you have the availability to me and to my office to help you out with pretty much anything. We can direct you if it's not something that our office can do ourselves. But I'm really excited to be here and to have Walled Lake be part of the district. The lines changed this year. Most of you are probably familiar with the redistricting, and so we got some new communities, and that's just a lot of fun. And I just live a mile away. I actually live in West Bloomfield on the western edge, just down the road. So this is perfect for me. I'm really excited about Walled Lake and getting to know the folks here. I just yesterday met with your school superintendent, had a great conversation with him. I spend a lot of time working on education, particularly on the budget side. So good time to be talking to folks. We are in the process right now of working through the budgeting, and we're going to try to get the school budgets done really early, so they know what's going to happen next year and they can plan things. So we're going to work on that. But the rest of the budgeting is going on as well, and that's a big part of my work. Turns out engineers do pretty well with state budgets, so it works well for me. Not very political. I'm a pretty straight shooter. I am an engineer. I went in because I wanted to help fix the education challenges I thought we were having. And it's been great to have the opportunity to work on that. But this year, we are almost 4 months into this new session, this new term for Senate's last 4 years. And so we just kind of get started, but we have gotten some pretty big things done. So those of you who are watching, if you are a senior and you get any kind of a pension or a 401k or an IRA, we did pass the repeal of the pension tax, which I know personally because I do my mom's taxes. I'm looking forward to this happening next year. But most seniors will see maybe $1,200 per family for the repeal of that tax, and that's a big deal for people who want a fixed income. We also took the earned income tax credit, which is specifically for kind of lower income families. There's a federal tax credit, and we used to match 20% of that at the state level, and the previous governor reduced that to 6%, which is pretty hurtful, and now we raised it back up, not just 20, but to 30%. So families in that, working families in that lower income, it's kind of a stretch to make all those bills. Certainly hard to think about saving for college. Probably about $3,200 a year for those families. So that's a pretty big difference when you're at that point. So we're really proud of getting those taxes for people who need the help the most, getting that fixed early on in this session. And we've done some other things. We passed some legislation to make sure that all the people have all the civil rights. So, LGBTQ people should have the same civil rights as everyone else. All the people should have all the rights. And we passed that legislation. We repealed the legislation from 1931 that restricted a lot of our reproductive rights. So the restricted abortion, even restricted the ability for doctors to talk about birth control. So we've repealed all of those, and it goes into alignment with what was passed in the vote last year in November, when the people of the state of Michigan overwhelmingly voted to make sure we kept those rights. So now our law matches what the people of Michigan have been asking for. One of the other big things that the people of Michigan have been asking for, and I know this because in the course of the last election, I knocked on about 10,000 doors. My team, together, we knocked on about 40,000 doors over the summer and the fall. And the number one or number two issue we got from every single door was gun violence. What can we do about gun violence? And so we have passed the first firearm safety legislation that we've had in I don't know how many decades, just last week. So safe storage, making sure we protect our kids. It's the number one cause of death for children now, so we are working to protect our kids with that safe storage legislation, and just background checks on every kind of firearm purchase to make sure that the people who shouldn't really have guns don't get them. And that's a big deal, and we're really pleased to have gotten that done. So we've been a little bit busy, and now we're working a lot on environmental protections and on water. Clean water, dirty water, all the water, making sure that the communities have resources they need to be able to do the upgrades that we need to do. A lot of work going on in that space, but a lot of other environmental components. One of the things that I came to work in Lansing was about protecting our water. We do have something special here in Michigan, everything from tourism to what we drink. And we do have most of the clean water in the country, so it's really a duty for us to protect that. So we have and we will continue to increase protections in that space. A lot of work in education and a lot more work on trying to support our communities. We're trying to raise the revenue sharing this year. Again, I know the government proposed a big raise. Anything we can do to keep moving that up. We just actually introduced some legislation that would establish a revenue sharing trust fund so that communities would have a better idea of what's going to happen. We'll smooth out, instead of this thing that happens where you're kind of random every year almost on what you get, smooth it out with a trust fund, guarantee a certain amount of revenue every year, and that'll make running your community here a little bit easier, perhaps. So we have a lot going on. I'm always open to suggestions, always open to give details on any specific things that folks are interested in, but I'm not going to give any more of a speech today unless you have questions. I do want to give out my contact information. The phone number is 517-373-2417. And if you want to sign up for our mailing list or just see what's going on, the website is senatorbayer.com, senatorbayer.com. And you can scroll down to the bottom, sign up, or you can just see us, or you can see what we're doing on Facebook as well. Do you all have any questions or anything else for today?
Anyone have anything else?
No? Yeah, thank you.
You're welcome.
Senator.
I look forward to coming back. If ever you need me, just give me a call.
Thank you very much. Okay, is there anyone else in the audience who would like to speak at this time?
I would.
Okay.
My name is Lori Farida. I own the Walled Lake Dairy Queen. I'm here today because I would like to discuss the Memorial Day parade route. Last year, obviously, the route had to be changed because of the work down at the beach, but I feel that it should be returned to its old route, which was from Eddie's Party Store, pretty much, all the way up Pontiac Trail, taking a right and coming down this way. I feel the change, having it not come that way, is an extreme impact on our business and the Walled Lake Party Store's business, considering we're the only businesses open on Memorial Day, aside from the WOW station. And then the route that it takes now, there's no businesses until you come to the corner right there. And I've owned the Dairy Queen for 15 years this year, and it is, aside from the pandemic and the beach work, the parade has always been very special and very good to us. My children walked in the parade for Walled Lake Western football and Braves for many years. My employees actually begged to have the shift that during the parade time. And we have sidewalks on both sides. We have adequate parking all around there. The church usually, to my knowledge, never complains if anyone parks there. We have restrooms that people love to use, which is no problem. We expect them to use them. We have air conditioning if it's hot. And of course, we have ice cream, which makes everyone happy. We try to make it fun for our community. We have handed out flags. We have handed out T-shirts, discount coupons, beads for the kids, balloons. We try our best. I feel that the Dairy Queen is a destination. People say, you know, let's go to the Dairy Queen, and Walled Lake is the place. I'm a proud business owner in Walled Lake to be here, and I would appreciate it if the route was changed back to the old way. Thank you.
I think, you know, you've made your point, but unfortunately, applications, directions, decisions
Right.
have already gone out for this year, and I don't see changing it for this year. The discussion has been held in DDA and different, that possibly we could go back. I personally am in favor of the old route, so I'm not disagreeing with you, and I've expressed my opinion. I do disagree that the parade is about what businesses are open or what businesses are
Oh,
closed.
I agree.
You know, this is a Memorial Day parade, and, you know, we won't debate that issue either.
Right.
But I think next year we have to start earlier. I know that in some ways it's easier for the city because the parking lot they're using out on West Maple is larger. It's easier to line up the cars than it was going from church to road. That part is easier. I think it's a little bit easier for the police department too, but I think the historical part of going through the old downtown, the prior war memorial, the old route, to me is a lot of what the parade is about. So I'm hoping next year we can have some discussion and go back, but I can't see the change being made this year, unfortunately.
Okay. Thank you for your time.
Okay?
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Next. Yes.
Good evening, Council. Eddie Hassano. I agree with you, Mayor. I think the route that the parade has taken in previous years, except for last year, is very commendable. The corner of Pontiac Trail and East Walled Lake Drive is where the monument is for the veterans there. People love to come in the streets and sit along the beach, along the water, if you say. They love just coming around and just parking right there on the streets. I've been getting many text messages and many messages to say, hey, what's going on with the parade? And I just think if we could get some discussion for next year, I understand it's too late for this year, that would be great. You know, just for next year, hopefully we can get some kind of, you know, permission to do it the same route that it's been for many, many years. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Is there anyone else in the audience?
this young lady.
Hello.
Hello.
My name is Amanda Mercer, and I wanted to come up here because I had heard, I don't know how true it is, that they wanted to change E.V. Mercer Beach to another name. And being that I am a part of that family, I just wanted to speak up and say that we would like to keep it Mercer Beach just because of the history behind it. And I take pride in knowing that that has some significant meaning behind my family's name. Sorry, I get nervous in front of people. So that is just one thing that I wanted to come up and say was that, to me, that's important. My kids learned how to swim there. They're Mercers too. So I would just like to say, if that's going to happen, could we have a discussion, find out if there was any stipulations when it was or became E.V. Mercer Beach, and if it's to remain that way, because I don't want to see that part of history that's been there for decades go and change to something else, because that's kind of like a memorabilia of my great-grandfather. So that's it.
There has been some discussion, it was talked about, no decisions have been made. Suggestion was that maybe that wasn't a route to take, that to honor another individual, there would be other ways of doing that in the city, but nothing has been decided, and it will be decided at the council. It was discussed at another board, so it would be something that would come up here, and
Would I be able to be a part of that discussion and just kind of be a part of it?
if you get your email address or whatever to myself or to the city clerk, if it were to come up and we start the discussion, then we could get a hold of you, sure.
Okay, I would appreciate that.
Okay. Anyone else? This is the most we've had audience participation in a long time. Come on up.
Thank you, Senator.
This is what it's all about.
Good, are you?
Good.
Marvelous. Thank you, Brent.
My name is Mark Mercer, Mark Esley Mercer, grandson of Esley Vernon Mercer, who the beach is named after. It was his property, as the property next to it was, a property across the street was, a property kitty corner across the street was. And he worked as a lineman, and during the Depression, he bought a lot of property in this town. And from what I was told, that he allowed people after the Depression to buy their properties back at fair market value. He was an honorable man, and I don't believe his name should be removed from that beach, as his wife somehow donated it to Walled Lake with the stipulation that his name remains on that property as, you know, namesake. And that's about all I know what to say.
Okay.
Appreciate it if you'd consider not changing his name from the marquee or whatever you call that on the beach.
Thank you, sir.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Is there anyone else? Yes.
Hi, my name is Chris Conklin. I'm with Corrigan Oil, Corrigan Mechanical Contractors. I'm just updating as far as the possible installation of a above-ground storage tank for Eddie's Party Store. We have a new tank that we have on site now that can be delivered to it. We're just trying to find out the status of what your department's going to do about it. I contacted the state of Michigan. I used to be an inspector for 15 years, and since the size of the tank is so small, if it's under 1,100 gallons, it doesn't have to be plan reviewed by the state of Michigan, but I contacted the inspectors and the engineers, and they will do a plan review. We'll submit all the paperwork, even though we don't have to. I'll be glad to do that. And the only thing we do not have is the impact from Department of Environmental Quality. Eagle. And I did contact them, and they said that they'll follow all the rules with Laura, Licensing and Regulatory Administration, and that's who we possibly have to answer to as far as the tank to be installed. The only other thing I see was in the past, there was an old gas station, which times change, I understand that. But getting a variance per se, we're not putting a gas station in, we're just putting a storage tank in the back. It won't be seen by the public except via the lake view. And then it was already installed, and there was a miscommunication with myself and the inspectors from the city, and it was removed very quickly, but still the base is there. And the packet I sent you, nothing has changed. We're just waiting on a possible, hopefully, approval for it. And does anybody have any questions about it at all?
Anybody have any questions or any comments on this? My only understanding is that it's not allowed in the historical district. I don't know if it's going to take a variance or what it's going to take. I had a very short discussion with the city attorney, and I understand that there are some steps that would have to be done, but
okay.
I don't think council is really, I mean, we're here to, what you have to say, but it's going to have to be handled by our professional staff, our building department, our city attorney, and go through the channels.
Yes, Mayor. I did hand it back to everybody. If anybody has any questions, I'd be glad to come at any time, 24/7, via Mr. Corrigan, the brothers that own Corrigan Oil. And this is a very small installation for us, but small or big, we just want to do the right thing as far as the environment. The big impact was, like a lot of people came last time, and they stated that they're always dumping fuel. I see that a lot. Like when I was an inspector with the state, every place I went to with marinas, that was their main thing. And it did help a lot. I don't know the percentage of impact it did help, but it did help the situation, so.
Well, and I agree with you there. I think we all want to protect Wall Lake. And I'm probably a violator myself. I try to put gasoline in my boat, and the waves come, and yeah, gas goes in the water. But we also have to protect the citizens, we have to protect the businesses in the area, and do it properly. So we've got to work between you and the city staff and do what we have to do to get this, to get
Yes,
it
ma'am.
going.
If there's anything I could do, please contact me, contact Corrigan Oil, and I'd be glad to come and assist you in any way, shape, or form.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you.
Anybody else have a comment or question on that while he's here? No? Okay. We have someone else back in the audience.
One more from the peanut gallery. So, obviously following all the rules for the gas tank, I'm sure it's going to, cause a ruckus,
Your
but...
name?
Oh, I'm sorry, this Jason Levy
And you live?
on Walled Lake.
Okay, so you,
I've lived here for 20 years, and I've kind of been in the same situation she has, filling up your boat, the waves come in, gas dumps. Sometimes that's what happens. But as far as that store, we've seen a number of owners for many years, and it seems like this owner has really taken an interest in our city, not only with to do the fireworks shows at his own expenses, remodeling it and improving it for our downtown. So the products in it are better, it's cleaner, and the new facade, I think, looks great. And if somehow there was an amenity where I didn't have to, lug gas cans or however that worked, where it was safe for everyone, I think that would be a nice amenity to have on our lake. As I know we're the third largest inland lake in Oakland County, we do have a boat-up restaurant and bar. It's very desirable, and I do love this lake. So I think it would be a nice amenity to add, as long as it's done in the proper way. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Anyone else? Do we have anyone online, Madam Clerk?
No, ma'am.
We have one.
He already spoke.
Sorry, Madam Mayor.
It's up to council. Do you want to allow him to speak again or not?
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm sorry, Council.
Twice.
I just, well, different. I just want in closing, this is a need, once again, by the community and by the people. I mean, I purchased a tank. I could get my money back with probably $10,000 more by selling this tank. But this has been a big need of the community. They all want gas, and they don't want us. There's been a lot of spillage into the lake, as you said, Mayor. And I'm going to reach out to the city attorney here in the coming days to find out what we need to do, or the attorneys need to do, in moving forward with this. And I plead for you guys, please, to let this happen, not only for me, but for our citizens and in our community. After all, it is for the people. Thank you so much for your time. God bless.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, now we finished with the present audience. Okay, is there anyone online?
No.
No, okay. Audience participation is closed. Council report. Excuse me, approval of the minutes.
Thank
I
you.
ask for a motion to approve the regular council meeting of March 21st, 2023.
Osnick will move.
Is there a second?
Ambrose will second.
Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Locke.
Yes.
Lublin.
Yes.
Osnick.
Yes.
Woods.
Yes.
Ambrose.
Yes.
Fernandez.
Yes.
Ackley.
Yes.
Thank you.
Okay, now we'll move on to council report. Any council member who sits on another board and commission or just attends, do you have any report or comments on your board? Was that, I thought you were raising your hand.
I was going to go. I just didn't know if anyone else was going
Go
first.
ahead.
I don't sit on the Parks and Rec board. However, I did attend the annual egg hunt. It was a great turnout, as it has been previously. City staff did a tremendous job getting it set up, stuffing the eggs, getting the eggs broken down by the kids, and then just from the petting zoo to the face painting. It was a great hit. People thoroughly enjoyed it, and I'm just glad to see our community coming together.
Did they like the bunny?
I think the bunny was a hit.
Oh, okay.
I think so.
Yeah, I don't remember.
and after, but not in the middle.
No, I had to go flip some burgers.
Super.
As long as we got the bunny good shoes this year.
Councilman
His-
Ambrose, I don't remember seeing you there.
No?
He was there.
Any other council reports?
Library board meets this Friday.
You always say that.
It's out
It's in the
there.
minutes.
Then you never tell us what they did.
Well, we're working on, I think it's the budget. We're working towards the budget, and the library's budget part is this Saturday, and still looking at the major renovation, construction, and these are all good things, and we'll see how it all goes.
Okay, we just have to keep you in line
That's
here.
okay.
Anyone else from a board?
I just wanted to bring up, I think we missed Ron Johnston earlier to announce DDA members, so I just want to make that for the
Well, he
record.
didn't raise his
Thank
hand.
you.
Yes.
Well, hang on, we'll come back to you in a minute. Any other council person? Okay, sir, you have something you'd like to say? No, Ron, I thought he had something. Oh, no, I'm good. Oh, well,
No, just when,
Just want to make sure he's in the minutes.
It's noted.
why did you tell me he did? Okay. Jeez. Okay, Mr. City Manager?
Mayor, council, let me start with, I request that you move to receive and file the departmental and divisional statistical reports. I have a couple of things that follow, but that motion first.
Okay. Do I have a motion, please?
Locke will make that motion.
Osnick will support.
Okay, we have a motion, we have a support. Any questions or comments on city manager's statistical reports? No? Roll call, please.
Lublin.
yes.
Osnick.
Yes.
Woods.
Yes.
Ambrose.
Yes.
Fernandez.
Yes.
Locke.
Yes.
Ackley.
Yes.
Thank you.
Okay, another item I'd like to mention, it has to do with code enforcement, airplane traffic, marinas, boats, whatever. For the first time in 13 years, we had an airplane illegally parked on our beach.
There for a couple
It
of
was tethered to our picnic tables. The chief is probably the expert on airplanes parked on the beach. Chief, come up and tell them how that worked. I know that most of you got a picture, because I sent it to you, 7 o'clock in the morning, whatever it was. That's pretty unusual for me. That's the first time in 13 years it's been tied to the beach. So give us an update on that and how we're handling that so that we don't park airplanes on our beach anymore.
All right, so there's a first for everything in 22 years, illegally parked airplane. Monday morning, we came in, saw the big red float plane parked at the beach. We received no phone calls, no emails, nothing, no correspondence with either City Hall staff or the police department advising why or how that occurred. Put our code enforcement officer on it. He located a resident further down the street who is a commercial pilot and also a float plane pilot. Apparently he had allowed someone to park there. There was an issue with the plane where it may have sunk. They moved it over to the beach to secure it and didn't tell anybody. So the code enforcement officer gave them till the end of today to get that removed from the beach, and if not, they're going to be cited. And I don't know if we can tow a plane, but we may find out. So it will be removed in short notice, and they were all advised that that is not to happen again without the city's permission.
I thought you'd find that short report interesting. It's never happened. A couple other items I have here is I'm going to have Ms. Jakeway give a short report on what's coming in May to get ready, so maybe that'll help advertise for our farmers market. I'm sorry you didn't expect that, but...
Good evening, Mayor and City Council. So as you guys all know, we do have our farmers market that begins in May. Opening day is scheduled for May 3rd, and it runs until the end of October. And we did do a time adjustment this year to be more accommodating to our vendors, but also to our residents and surrounding neighbors. So we did do a time adjustment from 7 to 1. It is now 8 to 2. The vendor application is available on the city's website, and we have received a few returned applications. So opening day is May 3rd. We do have a couple food trucks that are committed to attend, as well as live entertainment. So I would invite you guys to visit the market on Wednesdays. We're looking forward to a really good season, but we're also looking forward to welcoming trail users off of the Michigan Airline Trail. This is the first summer where we'll be having our pedestrian bridge open. So we're looking forward to opening the market.
Thank you.
Let's not forget that we recently promoted the intern, Kaylee Hall, is now designated as our farmers market manager under the supervision of Ms. Jakeway, who will continue to assist in the market. So she's going to get to put her spin on what we do with the market. She did a great job as an intern, so now she's got a little more. And you'll be seeing her next month. Ms. Kaylee Hall just finished the police academy, and she'll be sworn in front of this council to the next council meeting, along with some other folks. So that'll be at the next meeting. We also will report that we're making application for some relief on our pension fund. Anybody want to bring that up? Sure. $750 million. We're going for our part of that apple. Ms. Pesta and Mr. Schrader are packaging that up, and we'll have a fuller report in May. But it looks like we're trying to get funded back up to 60% funding. We're based on the past, we're at 34%. That's not good. So it looks like we got a good shot. We're in the chute, we're on the list, and they'll be packaging that, and we'll have a fuller report for you in May. But you need to know, we're mentioning those things at the DDA and some of the other meetings, so that's why it's useful to mention it here tonight. Also, I'd like to point out that I would like to bring Mr. Millen up, our DDA guy. He's our DDA member, but his establishment has been designated as one of the best provisioning center in Oakland County. Can you come up? I'm not supposed to tell, but I'm not bound by your rules. Come up and tell the council.
I'm tired, just letting you guys know we're off. The coffee truck will be open on 420. I'm sure you all know what 420 is, correct?
April 20th.
Come by Thursday at the greenhouse, we'll give you an introduction. Coffee truck will be open. No, we were just voted best dispensary in Oakland County by the readers of the Oakland Press.
Oh, that's awesome.
5 years in a row.
Congratulations.
There's a lot of firsts. We had an airplane on the beach, and now we got the best weed store in Oakland County. That's
right.
And so good news for Mr. Millen, that we're going to give him a copy of his license
Going to renew it. Thank you very much. Appreciate that. I was sweating it for a minute, but thank you.
Mr. Millen, Ms. Jakeway, will you please present Mr. Millen with his newest license for the best provisioning center
in Oakland County, in the state.
County.
And I want to remind everybody, the Chamber's coming by Friday morning at 9 a.m. We're having a free coffee and donuts, so stop by, feel free, grab some latte. It's all free. So come by. It'll be busy, but stop by
Not
Thursday morning.
It was Friday?
Thursday. 420 is Thursday, too, but the Chamber's coming Thursday for the first coffee. We do the coffee things in the morning, so love to see you there. Show you our new medical room. We've done things for patients, so stop in. There's a couple things have changed. I think you'd like to see
Ms.
it.
Jakeway, give him his license so he'll sit down.
Hey, the timer did not go. Oh, no. The people went up here for an hour talking. So I'm using I want my time. No, I'm kidding. Thank you, guys. I appreciate you. Appreciate it.
Coffee truck going to be open at 4:20 and then daily?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Yep. 8 till 2, 8 till 6. I can't remember.
Is it appropriate to ask you, how much damage did you, when we had the storm and all that, how much damage did that?
Not a lot, but because it was a special order truck from Argentina, it was $15,000 to get it fixed.
Wow.
Thank God for insurance.
From limbs
So-
that fell down, right? Or what?
No, it was the power pole that was
power pole.
75 years old. The DTE wouldn't replace for 5 years. I tried to get them to replace it. They wouldn't replace it, and it fell during the ice storm.
Congratulations on your business.
Thank you.
Being recognized by the public and the people who count, so. good
Thank you. Appreciate you guys. Anytime you need anything, let us know. Appreciate it.
Does that help you forget how hard it was to get your license?
Jerry, thank you for everything for Walled Lake.
Mayor, I think that's enough for tonight for me.
You're all done? Okay. Is there any correspondence?
No, ma'am.
Okay. Attorney's report.
Just a very brief update for you. Last week, an interesting ruling came down from the Court of Appeals regarding local regulation of marijuana facilities. It had to do with the provision. Essentially what happened is the court upheld a provision in an application that essentially said that the applicants waive all legal challenges to any action that a city might take on a marijuana facility application. So it's a very powerful legal defense for the city. So I just kind of wanted to give you the heads up, let you know I'll be bringing an ordinance amendment before the council here in the next month or two so that we can implement that as well and include a similar type of provision in our applications and in our renewal applications as well.
Mayor, we don't have too much problem with that. We have not had that lately. The city attorneys won every legal challenge with help that we've had, even from the cartel. And now the cartel has their own legal problems, and we're real pleased about that. So if you read in the paper, that many years ago, I called it's a cartel. They quoted me in the Detroit Press. I loved it. It's a cartel. Thanks, Van.
Okay. Mr. City Attorney, do we have any update on the water tower?
Yes. Mr. Leith, who is kind of sort of taking the lead on this project, he has. I did receive correspondence from him confirming that there was a small amount of asbestos that had to be removed from the tower. They went ahead and they did that, so that's gone. So that's kind of, cleared one obstacle that they had to clear in order to move forward with the demolition. And they did apply for and just recently obtained a demolition permit. So it is moving forward in a positive direction, and let's hope it continues. It's not on the ground yet, obviously, and that's the ultimate goal, but...
We have issued the demo permit, and we waive the fee for the demo permit. None of the premise that the quicker it goes down, the happier people are going to be. So the demo permit's been approved, which means they're ready to go. So
Awesome.
when you see anything on the side, laying down, being cut up for scrap, you can start being happy.
Hopefully that'll be all cleaned up before the parade.
Parade. That would be ideal.
We hope so.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Thank you, Mr. City Attorney. Appreciate it.
Welcome.
Okay, thank you. There being no unfinished business, we'll move on to new business, and the first item is the proposed resolution 2023-11, providing recognition and appreciation to Wall Lake Central.
Oh, I thought he was.
And
I
then
need that one.
you have, this is amended. to add-
Mayor, what you need to do is move to approve the resolution and then have the councilman who wants to substitute, just move to substitute. And because what went out was a little bit different, and what he's done is included, at his direction, we've included the names of the students. So you're moving to substitute the whole resolution. And that would come after you get a motion to approve what's on the agenda, a motion and a second, and then move to substitute.
Okay. You making the motion for the first?
No, we got to make this motion first.
Well, I asked him if he was making it.
Yeah, he's going to, you can.
I'll make the motion.
Okay.
Okay.
Is there a second?
Osnikel second.
Okay. Now, are you making a motion to amend?
No,
Yes.
substitute.
Substitute, excuse me.
Substitute the amend proposal resolution, I believe it's 2023-11?
11.
Yes.
To include the names, the
Yes.
student names.
To include the names of the individuals that volunteered that day from Walled Lake Central's National Art Honor Society.
Is there a second?
Osnikel still second.
But all we have to vote on is the substitute.
No, you vote
We have to
on
vote on
the
both?
motion to substitute, then you vote on the main
We
motion.
have to vote on both. Okay, that's fine. Okay, is there any discussion? Okay, roll call on the motion to...
Woods?
Yes.
Ambrose?
Yes.
Fernandez?
Yes.
Locke?
Yes.
Lublin?
Yes.
Osnick?
Yes.
Ackley?
Yes.
On the main motion, Osnick?
Yes.
Woods?
Yes.
Ambrose?
Yes.
Fernandez?
Yes.
Locke?
Yes.
Lublin?
Yes.
Ackley?
Yes.
Thank you.
I believe you wanted to read it into the record.
Yes, please.
A resolution of the City Council providing recognition and expressing appreciation to art instructor Ms. Ashley Koenig and Walled Lake Central's National Art Honor Society, NAHS, for their service to the city of Walled Lake at the City of Walled Lake's annual spring egg hunt on Saturday, April 8th. Proposed Resolution 2023-11. At a regular meeting of the City Council of the City of Walled Lake, Oakland County, Michigan, held on the 18th day of April, 2023, at 7:30 p.m. Whereas the City of Walled Lake held its annual spring egg hunt on April 8th, 2023, at Hiram Sims Park. And whereas the City of Walled Lake encourages and supports students in their extracurricular activities and public engagement at city events. And whereas the Walled Lake Central High School's National Art Honor Society held their event in conjunction with the City of Walled Lake's Spring Egg Hunt. And whereas Ms. Ashley Koenig, a Walled Lake Northern graduate, a College for Creative Studies graduate, and art instructor at Walled Lake Central High School, who has supported 9th through 12th grade students in their creative work through various courses including AP Art, Photo, Art and Design, Graphic Design, and Painting, has supported students in their extracurricular activities through her leadership with the NAHS. And whereas Ms. Ashley Koenig and students of the NAHS at Walled Lake Central High School hosted their event and contributed to the success of the Walled Lake Spring Egg Hunt by providing entertainment, crafts, and art activities for attendees. Now, therefore be it resolved by the City Council of the City of Walled Lake, County of Oakland, State of Michigan, that Section 1, the City of Walled Lake recognizes and expresses sincere gratitude and appreciation to instructor Ashley Koenig and the students of Walled Lake Central High School's NAHS for their service to the City of Walled Lake's Parks and Recreation and the citizens and public participants at the Spring Egg Hunt. Section 2. The City of Walled Lake recognizes and expresses sincere gratitude and appreciation to Walled Lake Central NAHS students. Excuse me for the names. Donovan Bashi, Katrina Hines, Luke Hosher, Juliana Rains, Lula Wiglarts, and Lori Witt for their service to the City of Walled Lake Parks and Recreation and the citizens and public participants at the Spring Egg Hunt. Section 3. Each participating Walled Lake Central NAHS student shall receive from the Mayor of City of Walled Lake a certificate of appreciation recognizing their contributions to the City of Walled Lake.
Thank you. Thank you. Okay. Moving on, looks like number 3, under new business. Mr. Woods, you wanted to discuss the...
Number 3 is the wastewater system, correct?
Yes.
I'm sorry,
Madam
I'm
Mayor.
sorry, did I
So I would be
skip?
number 5.
Yes.
Yep.
You're right, I skipped one, I'm sorry. Okay, forgive me. Okay. Do we have a motion on 2023-13?
Osnick will make the motion. A resolution adopting a final project planning document for wastewater system improvements and designating an authorized project representative, this being Resolution 2023-11, 13, I should say. Yeah.
Lublin will support.
Okay, we have motion, we have support. Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Ambrose.
Yes.
Fernandez.
Yes.
Locke.
Yes.
Lublin.
Yes.
Osnick.
Yes.
Woods.
Yes.
Ackley.
Yes.
Thank you.
Okay, the next item is the second reading of the Stormwater Management Ordinance Amendment. That means C 366-23. Do I have a motion, please?
Woods will make that motion.
Locke will support.
Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Fernandez.
Yes.
Locke.
Yes.
Lublin.
Yes.
Osnick.
Yes.
Woods.
Yes.
Ambrose.
Yes.
Ackley.
Yes.
Thank you.
Now, Mr. Woods.
Thank you, Water Resource Commission.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Thank you, guys.
Okay, if we get something passed out, perfect. So I'd like to propose Resolution 23-14, a resolution of the City Council authorizing the submission of the Oakland County Parks and Recreation, OCPR, grant program application for proposed pickleball courts at Riley Park.
Osnick will support.
Do we have a support? Do we have a second?
Osnick supports.
Ambrose will second.
Okay.
Yep.
Is there any discussion on this?
He was,
We got it. That was waiting for it. Sorry, I jumped on it.
It's a third.
it was a third.
I was going to say, I'm not even keeping up with you guys tonight, I don't know. Okay. Is there any further discussion? Okay, roll call.
Locke.
Yes.
Lublin.
Yes.
Osnick.
Yes.
Woods.
Yes.
Ambrose.
Yes.
Fernandez.
Yep.
Ackley.
Yes.
Thank you.
Okay. Council comments. I'm not sure what you're going to do to top it, but go ahead. I'll start down there with Mindy.
Well, thank you to all the staff for all the things you did for the Easter egg hunt, and council members. It was great to see you all, and it was a really fun event. We had perfect weather, and it was really well done, and everybody that came there had a great time. Also want to point out that the Take Back Drugs Day is coming up. I believe it's the Saturday? This Saturday? Okay. Here in Walled Lake, so it's a great time to get rid of any unused medications in your cabinets that may be lying around and get them out of your house.
Mr. Woods.
I also would like to echo the congrats on great job to the staff and everybody else that helped out for the Easter egg hunt. It was great. My kids were there. They helped out on the bounce house, so we were pretty busy, but lots to do before, after, during, so it was a very nice event. Saturday morning, I stopped in at the Walled Lake Do It Best Hardware for their official grand opening. They've been open for a little bit, but it was a great activity. It's a great store to stop at if you need to go to the hardware. Good place to stop at. This Sunday is the Stonecrest cleanup from 9 to 1, so they're looking for volunteers. It's a total volunteer group, so we'll be there before and after some of our meetings, but hoping to get some more volunteers. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Ambrose.
Again, echoing my fellow council members, one, regarding the egg hunt, tremendous event as always for our city administration that assisted during the event, before, during, and after. I would like to see some more of the Parks and Rec members assisting in some of that, whether that be filling the eggs or helping part of the cleanup. Just was a little disappointed on that, but that's okay. Again, supporting our Walled Lake businesses. Like Councilmember Wood said, the Do It Best hardware store is now open. We've wanted a hardware store to come back to the city. Now we do have one, so let's make sure that they stick around. And again, supporting the rest of our Walled Lake businesses. Thank you.
Mayor, let me talk about who showed up. Every single council member, except Councilmember Ambrose, was visible. All 6 of the councilmen we have pictures of, but we have no pictures of Councilmember Ambrose.
I beg to differ with you. You do
just
have,
a bunny.
You do have a picture of a person
as a bunny. As a matter of fact, the bunny's picture is captioned on Walled Lake Central's Instagram with Councilmember Fernandez, who's with the bunny, who otherwise AKA as Councilmember Ambrose. So it's featured on their Instagram, that bunny and councilwoman picture. So you'll get a kick out of that. But all of the council team showed up. They all helped. My team, I'd like to thank Miranda Gross. She's our recreation coordinator among all the other titles she's got. Ms. Jakeway, who helped, and they got it going. So that's what we got. I do like to thank. I would like to thank Mr. Councilmember Woods for helping with DPW and everything else. Every little bit helps. Dan was there cleaning up too, and so everybody showed up for that event on the council and in my staff. We all showed up, and it worked out pretty good. We missed this year because we didn't get it. Miranda called the very next Monday. Ms. Jakeway, one of it, who called?
I emailed.
They're scheduled for next year because they were upset that it didn't show up. I mean, we got them by accident before. Turns out it's a big hit. We called too late, but we still had a pretty good event. So thank you all for showing up and supporting. Called the very next day, right? Yeah. Budget workshop with my team, whoever wants to come and try to, it can get redundant and boring, but it sometimes is useful.
Very
so.
informative.
Go ahead, Mayor, I'm sorry.
That's okay.
Just wanted to give them credit for showing. All the council was there. Everybody who meant something to me was there.
I'd also like to thank the city staff. I'm sure everyone remembers, it wasn't too long ago that because of our budget, we were not able to do our events So everything was put on pause, and I'm sure the community has noticed every year since these young ladies have been on board and running the show, our events have gotten better and better, and I mean, all the smiling faces at the hunt, that's priceless. And the bunny, I loved watching him interact with the children, very charismatic.
The bunny thanks you.
Yes, yes, the bunny. He did a great job. Thank you.
I'd like to thank the staff, but also I'd like to thank Hannah for initiating or working with the farmer's market, and she did a good job of handing it off to the intern, and I'd like to make a further shout out to say, on May 3rd, be at the farmer's market, because it's just, that's all I have.
Thank you. I'd like to say I'm very happy and excited with the Water Resource Commission, the infrastructure program that we're addressing, and I think that's very important. And I'm happy to see that we're going to be doing that. So those are things that need to be done.
That's Ms. Pesta's work and Mr. Schrader's work, so infrastructure is pretty important.
Agreed.
It's what holds us up. I guess I would have to agree. I think Wall Lake is making some very impressive strides, and I also must echo my fellow council members and thank all the staff. And we've had some great events, and I think it's only going to continue to get better. And thank everyone. Does anyone else have anything else they want to add that they didn't? With that, I would ask for a motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
Support.
Support.
Let's go home.